Hello everyone, welcome to Praise the Run. I'm your host, Benjamin Lucky, aka the MrBenShow. This is my channel, and this is my co-host, Patrick McKinstry.
Me.
You changed your name again on social media, so...
Yeah, I made
it
easier.
even worse. No, you just made it so much... I have to go to every single video now and change all your socials.
No, it does it by itself.
No, it doesn't.
When you click the link, it'll just go back to the other one, though. Like, even after you change it, it'll still...
Yeah, but then all of it's... Every single one has your @ as well. Like, it'll be like Patrick's @ because not everything is...
No, but it'll still follow the old @ to the new page.
Will it?
And
well,
even then, they can just search my name and it's fine. I made it simpler to say out loud to people when I want them to follow me. Because I didn't have to... Because when it was Patrick Swayze, you had to explain everything. Like, oh, there's an underscore, and it's not Swayze, it's Ray.
Right.
Like, you know, and by the time you do all that, they don't even want to follow you anymore. So...
Right.
And what I was doing instead, I was just saying just search Patrick McKinstry, and that works 100% of the time.
It's Patica now?
Now it's Patastic.
Patastic. Okay.
Which is just one word, easier to say. People most likely won't spell it wrong. And, you know, it just, because now we're at a new age where, like, your username, originally, my username was just my gamer tag, because that's all you needed, once upon a time. And then it needed to be something, when Twitter and all these social media pages came about, it had to be something more silly or poppy, So I was like, I need something like a pun name or something. But now you have to say everything out loud. You can't just rely on them to find it and read it. You have to actually say it out loud when you introduce yourself. And, oh, follow me on this in a microphone. So I needed something that, like, I could do that and people could, search me across the room. I didn't have to explain it all.
Yeah.
And
No, I get it.
just got to keep up with the times. I'll probably change it again, to be honest. Who knows? Especially
Please
now that I got rid of Twitter, it's
Please
just,
don't.
I gotta
Right,
keep
got
up with-
rid of Twitter.
gotta keep up with what's going on,
Got to delete all of those links out of the...
I mean, I still have a Twitter
Oh,
account. I
yeah.
just don't have the app right now because
Right.
I'm not gonna. I don't have a lot of room on my phone.
Twitter's broken anyways, so even trying to search you because you changed your name is
Oh.
impossible. Like,
I
can't
didn't. Well, I
tag-
didn't change my Twitter name because I don't.
Yeah, you did.
No, it's the same. I don't even have Twitter on my phone.
No, you changed it from Litterdud to Patrick Wasey.
Oh yeah, originally,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
That broke everything.
Yeah, I changed it to
Because
that to make everything sync.
I don't know why Twitter broke like that.
Well, because
that,
it's
just like all the whole...
slowly breaking.
It was that time when he made it so you couldn't change your name to like Elon Musk or anything like that. So he like locked everyone's names.
Right. Well,
So, like, it
but
broke
it's a dying site, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna keep.
Yeah.
My page was never popping anyways. There's no point in just beating that dead horse.
No, I get it. Yeah.
So I had to make room for the new apps.
I'll go down with the ship. There's nothing that's like replacing it. Thread sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, like, Facebook is where I post all my words.
Facebook sucks.
And my Facebook's popping. I don't know. I have great Facebook.
Yeah.
But it's different with YouTube because videos don't share the same way as just posts with words.
Right. You got to worry about SEO and stuff like that.
Right. There's like
Well, I mean, that's
algorithm's
the same
different for
thing
that.
with like Twitter and stuff like that. I got to think about what I put in each post, like
Right.
hashtags and everything like that.
Yeah. But like for Facebook, that's fine.
That's
but
the
now
name.
you got to get the TikToks going.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going now.
Yeah, I need to still do that. But I also didn't put the podcast out last week, and now it's non-existent. I might have us talking over footage or without the game footage on the other memory card, so I will check that and put that out after this episode. just so we're current and everything like that. So it might get confusing. So this is Praise the Run episode 21 now, not episode 22. But this would be episode 22. And in that last one, we talked about how Pokemon had their presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't really announce anything new. It was a bummer. But I'm glad I wasn't the one that had to wake up early and react to it. I got to do it after work because I already wake up at 2:30 in the morning. And then we talked about THQ's showcase in that episode and how they announced quite a few games that are exciting. A lot of games that aren't exciting because no one's heard of them. But they announced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, another licensed game, and I love my licensed games. It's especially good ones. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. And they also announced South Park Snow Day. I'm not personally excited for that. It is a 4-person co-op multiplayer game that is 3D, kind of like the old N64 style. I don't know if were you higher on it than me? You like multiplayer games. So
I don't think I was a fan of that one though, just because I like the old South Park games.
Right, and like they showed gameplay, but they didn't show what the game was. If that makes any sense, like you saw like a whole bunch of characters running around an open battlefield thing, but you didn't get a sense of any objective or like anything. So for all I know, it could be a 4-person co-op RPG that you can play single player.
Maybe it'll be like a 4-person co-op, like that Shrek game.
I was thinking like Baldur's Gate,
where you just go around.
Well, it seemed like it was more. Yeah, I guess it would be like more. Just the other ones were turn-based, but this is a different studio, so who knows what it's gonna be. I don't know. You could be right. It could be more like a 3D platformy kind of thing, like Shrek, or there's not a lot of 3D 4-player platformers. I guess Mario has a couple that are adjacent to that, like 3D World. But other than that, yeah, bummer I lost the footage. My bad. I thought I would have put it out. I don't know why I didn't edit it and put it out. Usually I do that with Patrick sitting next to me. So I guess I didn't think about it. And yeah, usually that's like the first thing I do once I stop the recording. Is
I don't remember exactly what we did last week.
Did we make food or something? Or
I don't know.
Did you like leave right away?
I might have left pretty soon because I wasn't like feeling good that whole weekend. So.
Yeah, and then maybe I made food right after or something because I was planning on making hot dogs.
Yeah, because I had to make a bunch of flyers for different stuff, so I know I had to leave early. I had like a deadline on that.
Whoops.
So I probably ended up just bouncing and.
Yeah, and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, I'll do my other things and move on. So yeah. Fingers crossed it's on the other memory card. If it is, I'll put that out. Because I felt like we had some good conversations. And it sucks because that had a lot of stuff in it that happened. And there's not a lot that happened the week before that. And there's not a lot that happened this week. But we got a few cool things that we'll talk about. Anyways, though. What have you been playing?
Nothing really. This last week has just been. I've been on the road like every day practically.
Right. You've been doing shows and stuff. You need to get like an analog pocket or something.
Huh?
You can get like an analog pocket or something like that. You caught up on like old Game Boy games.
Yeah, something, right? I need to. Yeah, because my phone isn't big enough to really play anything. I should get like some sort of pocket game or something.
I've been looking at analog pockets recently. They're like. I think the highest model one is about 400.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that has the dock included or not. But that thing is so cool and it's so pretty. Seeing games on that thing, seeing it in person is a totally different thing. But it plays Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Lynx, Game Gear, and I think that's it for now. There might be one. I think Neo Geo Pocket is another adapter you can get for it.
That's cool.
I mean, that thing is real cool. But nothing recently. You not even play Marvel Snap or anything.
No, not even that. I was gonna put that on my computer.
Yeah.
Because my phone's starting to get too slow.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's just chock full of stuff and old and spammy now.
Yeah. Need to get like. Just dump it and reset it,
pretty
basically.
Much, yeah.
Factory reset it.
But I want to put it on my computer.
Yeah, for sure. Put it on your computer. Get all your progress saved and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it works. Maybe it's all tied to an account or something like that.
Yeah, because that's what I did with Hearthstone. Back when I played that a lot.
Yeah.
I was playing it on my phone, and then same thing. It was a different phone at the time, but same thing eventually happened. It just got too slow, and I was like, I'm gonna swap over to my computer, and I just played it on my laptop for a while. And my laptop's a touchscreen too, so it's basically like a really big phone. I can still swipe and place cards and stuff, and if I don't want to use my mouse or whatever.
Yeah. Then I wonder. That game would have to play really well with a mouse. I feel like that would be more satisfying with my finger.
I do like those. Well, I like those type of games where you are just. You have your hand at the bottom of the screen. You just mouse and click or.
Yeah.
But like if you don't, if you're like depending on where you're at, it is easier sometimes to just swipe the card up.
Yeah.
With your finger, and it'll. If I don't feel like having a whole nother thing over here with the mouse or whatever. Because my mouse is wired. It's not like a wireless mouse. It's like a gamer mouse with like a 10-foot wire or something. So.
Right. And it's such a me thing, but because of my line of work, my fingers are so fucked up. So like trying to like play something with my fingers, I don't like touching things. Like texting is one thing, but like swiping my fingers around is not my favorite thing. Like I'll deal with it for like Pokemon Go, but I'm not like I'm not like playing Trials anymore or anything like I used to play on my phone. Like, I love those Trials games, those like old mini clip like Flash, like dirt biking puzzle.
Yeah. Those are fun.
Modern Trials is fine, but the old ones are really fun.
Those are fun, yeah. Just flipping around and stuff.
Yeah. I did play a couple of games this week, and then a couple of series ended this week for me. Or I guess the last 2 weeks, because we missed a week apparently. I started the Godfather the game, which is behind me, the other way. I started that yesterday. That game still holds up. It is very weird the way it plays. Like, it wants you. There's a lot of like melee, like hand combat in that game. And instead of like pressing face buttons and stuff, you hold the trigger to lock on like Z targeting and like old Zelda, and then like you use the analog stick to like move your arm.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, to wind back up for a punch, you go up and down, kind of like Skate, almost.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you're punching like
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Or you can, like, do, like, little jabs, or you can, like, do hooks and stuff, like, with the way your thing is. And
that's
then,
like that war game, where, like, you have to do that with your sword and stuff.
For Honor?
Yeah.
Yeah, For Honor's really good at that. Or, like, there's the couple others that are more modern, the battle royale ones like Mortal or Chivalry, where it's the same concept where it's first person, but it's like team deathmatch and everybody has those wacky mechanics and stuff.
That's cool.
Well, For Honor does have that aspect to it. It's not as, and there's a lot more ragdoll and like Mortal and Chivalry. Like there's a lot more to it, I guess. Like, For Honor gets super in depth and is very much like more tight I guess, tight.
Yeah.
There's a tightness to that combat. Especially with how long it's been since, like, that game's been released. They've updated so much. But yeah, that game is real cool. I just made it through the tutorial part, so, like, I learned all of the different mechanics through it. Where, like, you go into a business and then you, like, gotta pitch protection basically and extort them.
Oh, nice.
Like, beat the shit out of these shopkeepers and, like, you know, get your money and shit. And then, like, some of those shopkeepers will have, like, racketeering things up in the back, and then, like, you can go up to them and, like, you can gamble at tables, I think, is what seems like it alludes to. I didn't get to do that at the time, so maybe that's just in the second one, because I feel like you could in one of those, but you go up there and then you can buy the boss out, basically, who runs the whole thing, like the racketeering thing, or shit can go south and you can just shoot up the place and, like, steal all the money and then claim the thing.
That's cool.
But yeah,
it's like advanced GTA.
Yeah, almost. Like, there seems like there's a little bit more going on. There's, like, also with that, like, those racketeering things. Of course, they have supplies and stuff like that. So, like, you'll see supply trucks going to them, and you can follow those supply trucks to supply warehouses and take over the warehouses that that's all cool. The shit's coming through.
Does it still follow the movie, though? Like, it follows the...
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's very much those scenes. Like, the second scene of the game is the wedding scene of, like, the nice. Day of my daughter's wedding, asking for it. But you're playing... I don't think... The character... I haven't seen The Godfather in so long. The character's not the character from the movie. No. I think it's just the... just your player character. But everybody around you are characters from the movie. It doesn't seem like every cutscene follows the movie, but there's definitely, like... the major cutscenes that do, like, the story beats to progress, like, where you are.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
But, like, other than that, I don't know if, I don't know. Maybe that would be a thing I should do after I play through this one, is watch the original Godfather.
Yeah, that would be cool. Do, like, a play-by-play.
I think people would be very mad about how I would react to watching The Godfather.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't find movies fun.
Oh.
So, a 3-hour 1970s Italian epic that's very
who knows, man?
regarded.
You could fall in love with it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I definitely have seen it at one point.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I've definitely seen all of the parts. There's 3 of them.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of it.
But a lot of them blend together just because, like, I think the last time I saw it was, like, a movie, like, marathon on TBS or whatever it would be showing on.
That makes
AMC.
sense. Also, it's one of those movies that have just been like mimed so many times.
Yeah.
Or not mimed, that's not really the word I'm looking for, but, like, everyone's done, like, a copy of it, like Star Wars, right. You know? You got your Godfather episode or whatever. It's like I've probably seen the movie in its entirety through.
I did watch Rocco from Mega 64 do a reenactment.
Nice.
A full reenactment. So
there you go. You've practically seen it.
Godfather Part 1. Wasn't a full reenactment, but he was just reading all the scenes and, like, doing what he could. That was pretty funny. This game fucking rules. The shooting's fine. It's not, like, anything great, but it's the Z targeting. It's better than Grand Theft Auto, in my opinion, because Grand Theft Auto is still a little bit all over the place, but it's basically the same shooting.
It's very, very a clone of it, though, it looks like.
Yeah.
Very similar to, like, San Andreas or...
Right, so this is after San Andreas, before Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh, okay.
So this is like everybody is getting their GTA clones out before Grand Theft Auto 4 comes out. So like Saints Row is popular at this time. Godfather, Mafia 2 or Mafia would have just came out not too long before. In Japan, Yakuza was very popular, of course. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of clones like this. This is definitely one of the better ones, and it's a licensed one. I guess Bully would have been coming out around this time. That's what Rockstar.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Bully. Bully. Very Bully-esque. Too.
Yeah. That would have been around the time of this is what Rockstar would have been putting out. Yeah. And Bully's a great game.
I mean, you could tell me that this was a Rockstar game, and I'd believe you.
Yeah, I don't... Who did do this? Oh, it's EA. What EA studio, though? I don't know. It didn't give me a studio as well when I started the game. It it just goes straight into the first scene.
Just right. Oh, really?
Yeah, it just starts you, and it's like Little Italy.
Here we go.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we're starting now. But yeah, you play a character that comes back from the war. He's getting into trouble, like with other gangs. Your mother comes to the dawn.
I like that. Iced.
Yeah, instead of wasted.
Iced.
Your mother goes to the dawn, and she's like, on the day of your daughter's wedding, I'm asking you to have my son join your gang, or your mob, join the family, for protection, because he's getting in with hooligans and getting himself in trouble.
Damn hooligans.
So that's where it starts out. Luca Barassi comes and finds you in the middle of, you were in, I assume, robbing some store, and the people that you were with are beating the shit out of you because they don't want to give you the money. You were supposed to like be the getaway driver or whatever, and they're trying to take away your cut. So Luca comes up and like just fucking bangs one of them over the head with a bar, and then picks you up and is like, I want to watch you fight these dudes.
Wow.
And then
you just beat him up.
Yeah, and then you start from there, and then it turns into this. Because I just gotten out of the tutorial, the open world hasn't opened up yet.
Right.
It showed me different things.
Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty. Yeah, it's pretty decent size.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what it looks like.
How long to beat? Said it was about 14 hours long.
Wow.
And then completing everything, it was like 40-something hours long.
Interesting. So there's like a lot of stuff outside of. It's not like strictly movie.
Right.
Only like some licensed games are.
Right. I think the second one, maybe the first one does, but the second one I remember had like territory kind of stuff like Saints Row did.
Oh, okay. So you can kind of like goof off a little bit. You're not like just stuck doing the story.
Right. Because you can go like extort people and like take over racketeering businesses, like the warehouses and stuff. There are side missions and side characters.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's like, as soon as I got out of one of the tutorial missions or whatever, it was like a side character was right there, purposely, of course. But it started a side mission of like, this is how, you extort things and everything, and that's how I found out that. But I assumed that I could have just walked past them and then like gone to the actual mission,
right?
And then never learned that stuff.
Just went and did your own thing, yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Ideally, I'll be able to play through it all and it not break. It sucks. Right. Like the Warriors broke on me because that was the plan, was to play through the Warriors. I really liked playing that game. I just couldn't go any further.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, that's always a bummer.
But yeah, I did start putting those episodes out last week. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official movie game. The final episode went up yesterday as we're recording. That we talked about that when I beat it. But that game ends so much stronger than any of the rest of the game. The rest of the game is weird first-person shooter that is like trying to be super cinematic. Like there's no HUD to show you things or anything like that.
Interesting.
And it follows all of the movie shit pretty much. There's a lot more dinosaurs on the island in this movie, or in the game. But it all leads up to, you are in New York City playing as King Kong.
Up the tower
cars.
and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Destroying planes and shit. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Other than that was really it. I didn't do much else. I gotta do a work thing. Fuck.
I've just been watching other people play games while I've been doing my other things. I watched someone get the platinum rewards on Outlast.
I'm gonna have to pause this, man. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There we go. My bad. I didn't know I had a work thing this morning. I didn't, since the last podcast never existed. I got a new job, so, plans have changed.
It was announced last
that was
week,
last podcast that is in the ether somewhere. So my first day is technically Monday, but I guess there was like an orientation thing today. So I had to jump on for like 40 minutes of that. And now I'm back. And we can talk about the news.
The news.
There's not a lot of news, but there's a little bit. It's like we got like a little droplets of news.
Some dew.
Yeah, we had the Pokemon thing last week. We talked about that kind of last week. We talk about that here. We could just talk about that now. We don't even have to worry too much about last week's podcast if we just do it now. The Pokemon thing announced a bunch of animes. No new games, but 3 new animes, or 2 new animes, and a look at the new mainline show.
And a bunch of little shorts.
Yeah, the little YouTube shorts, which actually the Path to the Peak, the card game one.
Yeah.
Is out now.
Oh, nice.
Episode 2 just came out yesterday. I watched the first episode. I like it. It's cute.
Nice.
It's definitely a kid's show.
Right.
But it made me feel nostalgic for, playing Pokemon cards as a kid. We talked about that. I can just stop saying that. We talked about that last week. I can stop saying that because, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I have memories of being in school, playing cards and stuff, and I was in the era of kids they were taking away Pokemon cards because it was gambling and stuff like that, and Charizards weren't worth thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars.
Right. Yeah, it really is a whole different type of thing now, with them being so much more expensive.
Right. I pulled a Charizard the other day from the new set, and that was a $150 card.
Wow.
Cards weren't worth that much.
And there's just children out there ripping them up.
Yeah. Holy shit. And then the THQ stuff. A lot of RTSs was the takeaway. They're still pumping out RTSs.
Yeah.
And licensed games, which I'm all aboard for licensed games, and
yeah, there were some cool
happy
games
for the
from
RTS people. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was mostly just real-time strategy, a lot of Kyle games.
Yeah. Yeah. That last Train Home game, he'll probably be super into.
Yeah.
The the South Park game. I don't know what to.
I really just need. I'm not
so
even gonna
bummed out.
put any more opinion onto it until I see something other than what they put out.
Right.
Because right now they showed so little that it's like I don't even know. I don't even know what it is enough to even
Right.
be. I mean, it looks gross, but maybe in a way that's them like trolling us, you know? Like they'll flip the script and it'll end up being something way better.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, the trailer wasn't great.
Right.
And there wasn't very little to no gameplay in it. So, like, you know, we can make our conclusions. But I'd like to think that South Park will do something to make it better no matter what.
Like a quality control.
They're good with fans.
Right, and I would imagine Matt Stone and Trey Parker are involved in somewhat. I know they are very, very mixed on their feelings about the last two games in development and stuff. Not because they hate the way the games turned out. It's just making games is hard.
It is, yeah.
Especially that first game took forever to make. And the sequel, too. The sequel took so much longer. And they changed developers twice on both instances.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was THQ originally publishing it. And then Obsidian took over after, or no, Obsidian was developing it the whole time, but THQ was publishing it, and then THQ went under, and then Ubisoft took over from there, and then Obsidian got kicked off the second one, or they didn't want to develop the second one, I guess, and then Ubisoft developed that one internally, and then also they changed the mechanics completely, like. The first one's a straight-up turn-based RPG, and the second one's a tactics game.
Right. Which wasn't like a huge leap, I don't think.
I mean, it was also like high fantasy versus superheroes and stuff.
Yeah, but it's still in that same like.
They play completely different.
Nerd realm. I see them as the same game. I mean, they play it differently, but like. I still see them as like just a different genre of the same game.
It's Pokemon versus like Civ.
No, not Civ.
Well, I mean, a turn-based. It's Pokemon versus like Final Fantasy Tactics or anything. I was trying to make it outside of a tactics game.
Yeah.
You know, and outside of a Pokemon is a turn-based game, but it's not like Baldur's Gate or something like that. Which Baldur's Gate is probably a little bit more of an apt comparison, but Baldur's Gate is a little bit more freeform and it's not a grid. Like South Park's on a grid.
Right.
And it's almost like chess.
There's some characters. Yeah, everyone can move certain spaces, and they're like.
Yeah.
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 But it's still like. Taking turns, fighting, strategy.
Yes.
Role playing, just a different character.
Right. I wouldn't call an RTS a turn-based game. You know, even though it is.
Yeah.
Right. Like I wouldn't say it's a turn-based RPG, but it is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's different, but, like, I guess maybe because it's just South Park, and it's, like, at the end of the day...
It's still South Park.
It's all just, like, silly fart jokes.
Yeah.
The gameplay is, like...
The smell-o-vision.
Kind of just blended into the rest of it, but...
Do you remember that they released the second one with the smell-o-vision?
No.
Yeah, they gave it to. I know Max Mofo did a playthrough with it, but yeah, it was basically like a 4D gas mask for the
Wow.
game.
That sounds awful, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
smell the fart jokes.
I don't think that would be fun in any degree. That sounds
Funny as hell.
like that pizza thing.
Oh yeah,
Pizza
the
remote.
pizza controller. We talked about that last week too. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles released a new Xbox controller. It's only It's very limited. It's only going out to like influencers and stuff like that. But there's one for each turtle, and they are basically an Xbox controller with a pizza strapped to it.
I feel like they smell probably like pizza combos.
People say it. Well, that's the other thing, is that it has a hole inside the pizza that's attached to the controller, and then you get a vial to spray in the hole that makes the controller smell like it. People have compared it to like greasy cardboard. Like it smells more like a used pizza box rather than a pizza itself, or like a box with a pizza in it. Like
wow, that's probably where they're extracting it from. They just recycled hundreds of pizza boxes and repurposed it for scent.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about TikToks, but I saw one of some dude pouring Slim Jim juice into a bottle.
Nice.
It's like, I'm the inventor of Slim Jim juice.
Yeah, that's
like,
gross.
It's gnarly. It was basically that, yeah.
But I
think about the wolf piss that
grease.
hunters use and shit like that. Like, who's just out there milking a wolf for their piss, you know?
I mean,
I don't know.
Are
you like waiting for a wolf to piss on a leaf and then going over there and like sucking up like little drops off the leaf with a...
It's only wild. I'm sure they have some domesticated wolves to
funny as fuck.
Pee in a bottle.
Yeah, are they trained? Are these wolves trained to pee at the urinal?
Yeah.
they
got
just
trained wolves to go around and
paws on the wall.
Pee in there. Yeah. Just up on the wall. Yeah, that's how they do it.
Are these wild wolves? But then you can also buy like deer urine and fox. There's a whole world of hunter urine.
Yeah, there's a whole
that you could get
urine manufacturing, plant out there.
Because it's not like pig's blood, where you can just go get pig's blood. You just go to the butcher and be like, I want to make like blood pudding or something like that, and you get pig's blood, and they'll happily give it to you for super cheap or for free, usually. And yeah, it's not like that. You can't go to the zoo and be like, "Can I have your fox piss?"
I mean, you just go to the hunting store.
The hunting store, yeah. The hunting butcher.
Yeah.
Like, you drain the bladders, please.
I'm sure it might not even be real pee, to be honest. It could just be
chemicals.
Just the scent.
Ammonia and
just the pheromones
urea
mixed with...
I mean, it would have to have, like, fox urea in it to make it that pheromone, right? Like, you'd have to extract that from somewhere. I don't know.
This is a whole different type of science. I don't know any science.
South
I dropped
Park
out of most science.
Piss day.
It's all gross. If you can't just kill a deer without smelling like a deer, then you suck.
Yeah.
How about that?
You can go to Modern
quote
News
that.
now.
Quote me.
Yes. Put in the comments.
Yeah, all you hunters.
Or clip it. Well, I was talking over it, so the clip, you can't make it a soundbite, but you can quote them. New and current news that fastly became redundant. Starfield has gotten gold. It's not, you don't say that much these days. It's not like, I mean, it's still a milestone for people, or for the industry, or for a game, it's like, this is the game that we are putting on a disc, right? That's what gold means.
Yeah.
We're sending out the master to go be printed on a disc.
Nice.
But with day one patches and all of that shit, modern games, it doesn't mean much, because even once you send out that master, you're still working on the game.
That's true.
It's not like the old
There's
days where you go spin your bonus or whatever, you don't start popping bottles. Yeah, you can start popping bottles, but like don't pop all of them. You know.
Right.
The game's still not out for another month. That being said, I was gonna read this beautiful article from Marcus Stewart at the Game Informer, where Starfield is a staggeringly ambitious game, but it appears to be ready to go a few weeks from its September 6th launch date. It is confirmed as of yesterday. Reviewers have the game. People are now playing Starfield. It's not that it's just gold. It is in people's hands now.
Nice.
The review embargo is not out until August 31st, which is a whole week before the game is technically released. But as of right now, reviewers have the game to give them ample amount of time to review the game properly. It was also going to be, the ideal situation for like Baldur's Gate 3. That ended up happening, as we know now.
Right.
Baldur's Gate 3 came out a month early to get away from Starfield, at least their PC release date.
Mm-hmm.
Baldur's Gate 3 is now the highest reviewed game of the year. We talked about that last podcast. Holy shit, Baldur's Gate 3 is a crazy good game. Like, I'm not playing it, of course. I wish I could. I don't have a PC. Go donate to the Cash App or buy Pokemon cards in the store so we make that happen. But I've been watching so many people play it. My favorite thing to do is to like go into somebody's archive of a video and like go 2 hours in past all of the character creator bullshit and just see where they go. Like, once they get in the world, just like there's so much shit. Baldur's Gate 3 is now sitting at 97.
Yeah.
On Metacritic. That's crazy. It might be at a 96 now. I think Eurogamer gave it a 4 out of 5, which is fine. I know people are mad at Eurogamer for giving it a 4 out of 5 instead of a 5 out of 5 for some reason. But because of the way Metacritic works and how it balances review scores versus 5 stars versus a 10-point scale or whatever, it brought it down a point. But still the highest reviewed game of the year above Legend of Zelda. Is sold immaculately well. It is so crazy the way that game is made. There's
a lot going on.
There's so much shit. Like, and for the way it caught on, like, I don't know, like Elden Ring was a surprise, definitely.
Yeah.
And then we've had some big ones. It's kind of crazy how big they caught on, but it wasn't as surprising. Like Animal Crossing selling as well as it did is definitely surprising and staggering. And it's like 49 million units or something like that.
Oh, wow,
it's insane.
It's a lot.
But Animal Crossing is a popular game. We knew that from the mobile game as well, that the mobile game did very well. And that hype kind of was carried forward through that. And then the pandemic, of course, was the unfortunate timing of all that. Worked in that game's benefit. And Pokemon. Pokemon, of course, sells millions of units and stuff like that. Elden Ring was the other big surprise where it was like, this game's selling 20 plus million units. That's...
Yeah.
Why is that doing?
Even people that weren't into those sort of games were getting it.
You're right.
Well, kind of because it had that feel that Baldur's Gate gives you now, where like it was so open and there was so many options, kind of and stuff. Like there are so many different ways you can play that game, and now Baldur's Gate just kind of took that to the next level. But
yeah, once people realized from that presentation that you could you can be a druid and turn yourself into a bear and fuck.
Yeah.
It was like a game changer. That game is so cool. Starfield, I pray for the best, I'm sure, I don't know the extent of the embargo.
Yeah.
Like, for the 31st. I don't know if people can talk about it throughout the month. I doubt it. I doubt that they're able to say a word. We'll see. I don't know the extent of that. It could be just as simple as you can't give it a score until this date. You know, this is such a big moment for Xbox. All eyes on Xbox.
Yeah.
To get this right, and for Bethesda to get this right, because of the downfall of Halo Infinite and Redfall coming out, to be such a flop, and then Halo Infinite with the, Starfield isn't a ever-living game, but Halo Infinite was definitely a thud because of it being pitched as that, and then not fulfilling those promises,
right?
Like that it had given to the fans, or at least the fans have felt that those promises weren't being made or met. Starfield has promised a lot, and it's very scary to be in that position as Bethesda after Fallout 76.
Right.
And it's very, very dangerous for Xbox right now. After Redfall coming out and it being a thud, and after buying Bethesda for $9 billion.
Yeah, true.
And this is the first product of that we're getting that is the big thing, you know? Like, Redfall was a thing, but I think Redfall was already being made before then. Starfield was in development, but it wasn't completely, most of the big development cycle was under Xbox.
Yeah.
A lot of the writing and the art and stuff like that was all done pre-Xbox, but the actual game portion of it, from what we know, was being developed in tandem with Fallout 76 up until now. That is a very dangerous position for Xbox and the future of Xbox in Game Pass. Not that I don't think that even if Starfield fails, that they won't ever be able to put out a good game again. Of course not. But Bethesda games takes 7-8 years to make. Bethesda games cost hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to produce. These are Rockstar quantity games.
Right.
Even though they're not touting it to be the next GTA, this is that same level of game.
Right.
Both production and scale-wise. I mean, GTA 5 is, of course, an anomaly. But across GTAs, this is on the level of that caliber of game.
Right, yeah.
I wouldn't even put... I mean, Breath of the Wild was big, but this is bigger than that.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is a sequel. This is Bethesda Game Studios' first game that is not tied to anything that they've done. And since Elder Scrolls 1...
Oh, wow.
Since Arena, Fallout wasn't theirs.
Yeah.
When they got it, they did Fallout 3. That's where they started.
That's true, yeah.
And then, they've made several Elder Scrolls since the original. And then the other games that they've made in between were licensed games, like the Pirates of the Caribbean game.
Right.
There was another one too that I was thinking of, but Pirates of the Caribbean is a good example. There's two of those, but they're both licensed. This is the first original IP that Bethesda Game Studios has made since Arena. It's a very scary place, and exciting. It's very exciting. I'm excited for the future. we're gonna, of course, talk about Starfield for months to come, probably. So we can leave it there for now. I'm excited. We can hold our excitement though for 10 days for another game. Alan Wake 2 delayed 10 days to avoid clashing with October's big releases. This is from IGN. Wesley Yinpol is the writer of this. Remedy has announced a 10-day delay for the hotly anticipated Alan Wake 2. It was due out October 17th and will now launch October 27th. In his statement, Remedy said October was packed with game launches and wanted to give players more space to play everything. October is an amazing month for game launches, and we hope that the date shift gives more space for everyone to enjoy their games, Remedy said. Alan Wake 2 was set to launch the same week as Insomniac's sure-to-be-massive PlayStation's exclusive Spider-Man 2. Back in 2010, launch sales of the first Alan Wake suffered due to launching the same week as Rockstar's behemoth Red Dead Redemption.
Wow.
Jeez. October 2023 also sees the launch of Microsoft's Forza Motorsport, not Horizon, the other one. Assassin's Creed Mirage, the Nintendo Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and reportedly Sega's Sonic Superstars. I feel like there's a couple of other games that I'm excited for that come out in October too. But that's besides the point. The team from Remedy joined us on IGN Summer of Gaming to discuss how Alan Wake 2 takes inspiration from... Okay. Cool. Right. This is a reminder to say that this is not coming out on a disc. This will be a digital-only game. Because they can't fit it on a Blu-ray. It's so big.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is more common nowadays. Like when you buy a Call of Duty disc, it has 9 gigabytes or 9 megabytes on it. You know, like it's the launcher to launch the download. It's not even a launcher for the game at this point. It's to read the disc to say, "Hey, you bought the game," and then here's your
copy.
Key.
Yeah.
It's just how like the backwards compatible works as well too. Like it's not reading the game off the disc; it's downloading the game from its internal database and fucking pulling it. Which is funny because it's funny and it's shit because like you have games like Scooby-Doo Night of the 100 Frights, right? I played forever ago on the channel. No matter what, if you have a disc or whatever of the game, this is on a 360. It also worked like this too. If you have a disc of the game, it could be completely fine. No matter what copy you have, the game will always crash on the last boss because it's written in the game's data in the digital store to have that glitch for some fucking reason.
Wow.
So no matter what, I couldn't beat that game. I had to watch somebody else beat it because of the last boss. It just crashed the whole game.
Well, how did they beat it?
Because they played it on the GameCube or played it on the Xbox back in the day. The 360, since it's down, or the Xbox One, for instance, is downloading it from their internal, ROM.
Right.
You're not even reading it from the disc.
Wow.
So that internal ROM's just broken completely. So no matter what, you'd just be downloading a broken game at that point.
No matter what, yeah.
You can go on Wikipedia and look through the backwards compatible list, and they will tell you all of the glitches in these. The 360 back in the day had so many of weird anomalies that would happen in games, and people just had to deal with it because the game that's just how it be.
Yeah. That's crazy though.
Yeah, that was really frustrating. I remember getting pretty angry. I didn't get super angry or anything, but I was pretty mad about
you try to beat the whole game, you get all the way to the last bit, and then it's no.
Yeah,
it's
13 hours later, and the game, I don't remember how much I paid for the game at the time, but the game's expensive, more expensive now.
Right. It should be
was
free.
$25.
It should be free. Point. You can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't beat it. Well, it's the Warriors too. I was playing that Warriors game. I was playing is the PS2 ROM that is from the PS4 store. It wasn't my Xbox copy.
Right.
It was the digital copy from the PS4.
That's crazy.
So it's just broken on their level. Like, I did everything I could. I reinstalled it. Like, it's just that's broken.
Huh.
It's so stupid. So dumb.
Very
but
weird,
I get
yeah.
it. I get it. Like, especially for Call of Duty and stuff, like, that makes more sense. But then you have the instance of, like, Final Fantasy VII, right? Final Fantasy VII Part 2 got announced not too long ago. It was announced that it's coming on 2 Blu-ray discs because it's so big.
Oh, right.
It will have the whole game on the discs. They're doing it, but
Part 1, Part 2.
Exactly. Which, I mean, the original Final Fantasy is like 4 or 5 discs.
I was going to say, yeah, it's
really
definitely
big.
not the first time they've done this.
Yeah, no, most of the Final Fantasies from the PS1 era and PS2 era are 2+ discs at least.
Yeah, no, I remember.
I think Final Fantasy
There's thick little square cases, but they're like this thick because they open up and
yeah,
like
I'm
there's pages
sure,
somehow. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure 7 is 5 discs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like my first game I saw with like the pages of plastic cases with discs in them, like a little book. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
As the 2 discs and then on double sides, I
right.
think
and then you flip
it could be 6 discs. I'm pretty sure it's 5 because it's the manual and then 2 and 1.
I don't remember. I just remember being able to flip it and I was like, this is too much game.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid's another
That's
one.
a lot.
You know, that's a 2
I never
disc
played
game.
that game.
Yeah. Now that game in the middle of that game is so cool because it does weird meta shit like all of Kojima shit does. So that game, like, the disc swapping is part of the game where, like, if you don't change the disc fast enough, it blows up your save.
Wow.
Because you're Solid Snake trying to disarm a bomb.
That's funny.
Yeah. So in the middle, it'll start counting down and change the game to or before self-destruction or whatever it says in this.
Wow. And you don't even know, so you could have it like stashed away somewhere. Now you gotta go find it.
Yeah.
It's like 2 a.m. You're trying to be quiet.
Be on the other side of the room.
Your kid's asleep. Yeah, that'd be nuts.
For Snake!
You're just, you dive across the screen. Wow.
Funny as hell. But that's the crazy shit. Like, that's unheard of for now. Rockstar games are like that too. Rockstar games have an install disc and a game disc.
Yeah.
I think Red Dead was like that. GTA was definitely like that on 360. But I believe Red Dead was like that, where it has the install disc for the 120 discs or 120 gigs or whatever, and then it has the game disc to actually run the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But you still need to install it regardless, so I mean, it doesn't matter. What else? There was one other news story I had before we go. Oh, this is probably the most important one, I would say, that affects most people. Xbox has launched a new strike system for people, with audio clips and stuff like that. I'm probably, once it comes into the nitty-gritty of this, I'm probably not the most reliable source, but we're going to read it straight from the source, so that's fine. We are constantly improving our safety measures and bringing more systems and tools in place that empowers players to respectfully interact with one another. Because everyone deserves a place to comfortably be themselves online, free from harassment and bullying. One of the most common questions we get from players through feedback posts and appeals is how repeated enforcements impact their gameplay, how they escalate and what they escalated to, and how they know where their account is back in good standing, or when their account is back in good standing. To help address this, we are introducing a new enforcement strike system. The new system attaches strikes to every enforcement, ranging in severity based on inappropriate activity. Each player will now have a view of their enforcement history, including strikes and overall impact these have on their player record. The revised system gives players a better understanding of enforcement severity and the cumulative. I was reading so well until this. It's not even a hard word. Cumulative. Accumulative without the A. I think this is a typo. That makes sense if it was a typo. Accumulated effect of multiple enforcements. Enforcement transparency is about giving players clarity into their behavior impacts and to how their behavior impacts their experience. Our content moderation efforts are not changing as a result of the new enforcement strike system. Which, because they just changed it, because they added the new clip thing where you can, if somebody is, yelling the N-word at you, you could just fucking take the clip and send it now without, doing much work. Because you used to have to go, into the menus and fucking, it was a whole process to report somebody.
Or now just stop being a big baby.
Yeah.
And play your game. Stop reporting people.
Or stop calling people the N-words.
Yeah, no. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Let them call you the N-word. Keep playing. It's just a game.
I also think...
You big whiny babies.
I also think now that it will just...
It probably immediately recognizes certain words and picks it up.
Fortnite has that.
I think Rocket League might too.
And Roblox. I think Roblox as well. Rocket League.
It's definitely something that's
That's interesting because Rocket League's owned by Epic.
Yeah.
As well. Fortnite.
Oh, okay, yeah. So then it's probably all in the channel.
Right.
That whole thing, yeah.
But Roblox makes sense because of, children.
And you really can't even chat.
COPPA law.
Most of the chat in Rocket League is team only also. You can't talk to the other team unless you, invite them to a Discord. There's not, opponent chatting. So, if you're 1v1 or...
Right.
Even if you're 1v1...
Because you could spam the good job.
You can do... Right. They have, the auto-filled chats, but you can't do... You can do manual typing.
Yeah. If
you're fast enough or whatever, but that's still... Not while you're playing, that'd be...
Right.
But you can't do any... There's no audible... And then it does catch words when you type it, so it just turns them all to stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but that's been a thing. I was gonna say that's been a thing since RuneScape. That's not new.
Yeah, probably even before that, EverQuest or whatever.
Minecraft does that.
Yeah.
All sorts
Club
of
Penguin did
right.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Neopets.
So this is just the next level of that. But at the same time, you can just let them talk about your mom and then move on with your life.
Well, it's mostly the death threats and shit like that.
Oh yeah, I guess.
There's swatting is
I've
a huge
plenty
problem.
of death threats on games.
You ever gotten swatted before?
No.
Have you ever gotten shot from the cops while getting your house raided from the police because somebody was mad at you at Call of Duty?
No.
That's where we're at.
But I'm not that good either. So that's the other thing. Don't be so good at video games that people get mad at you, okay? Be kind of sucky.
Yeah, you can just play Dark Souls.
So that's the other problem. If you're one of those thirsty gamers playing games so good that people have to call you the N-word, maybe you're the issue. Have you thought about that? If cops have to come to your house because you're playing games so good, maybe you should go outside. I don't know. Tattletaling is so silly. I guess there are pretty extreme examples, but there's also a lot of I've watched some gamers that are this guy didn't participate enough in our what's that horror game where they're running from the bad guy? I can never remember. Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, this guy didn't work on any motors. I'm gonna report them. It's why? Just fucking move on. Maybe they're 3 years old.
Right. This is also this new system, the new system to tag it is also to help with people reporting, because there's also people who report as a thing of abuse.
Right.
There's the other side of it.
Well, see, that's where I'm getting. Yeah.
Try to get people's accounts banned.
Over-reporting.
Over-reporting.
They're just
this is straight up for the
They're just like the Karens of Xbox.
Yeah, this is more of like we're sent for hate speech and death threats specifically. You know, doxing is another thing that's really big.
That's true.
All of that stuff. This is specifically for that.
Yeah.
But it will also be able to flag, hey, this person is over-reporting, you know, this people is like spamming
I wonder if there's going to be a specific...
Because it has your report history now.
Like a specific list of reports.
It does.
Like you can get this, or like different crimes.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the way I see that as
rating.
The most toxic players are going to take that as, oh, I have a new achievement list now. I'm about to try to get every one of these reports and then screenshot it and then put it up online. Like, look at me, I got the N-word report. You know, I got the one.
They're just locking accounts and banning them and stuff.
Yeah, but those level of players will find a way around that.
Right, but there's always a way around it, but there's always going to be a way to, you know, squash it. Like, there has to be a give and pull for that for that to exist.
It just seems
you
like...
can't just say, oh, we're cool with it all the way around, because then you get places like fucking Twitter now or something.
No, yeah, it's just there's going to be a lot of like chasing your own tail,
Ouroboros.
trying to correct the issue.
Right. That's there's always going to be murderers, and we're always going to put them in jail, you know?
Yeah, that's true. There's
always going to be something, but also, like, if you're playing video games, you don't want to have to worry about your safe space being ruined, you know? This is the place where you go to have fun, and you're trying to enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, but maybe I love being yelled at.
And then
that's my fun.
They have games for
They should have like like lobbies specifically for that, for like the most toxic people to just yell at each other.
GTA roleplay server.
Toxic Call of Duty lobbies.
I'm sure that exists too. That's how I feel about the people who go on and just imitate people and do like impressions and stuff. Like Obama plays Call of Duty, and then it's just this dude trolling people as Obama. I'm like, you're no worse than like any other fucking piece of shit.
That's fine. I don't mind that.
It's funny.
I prefer that over like
no worse.
5-year. Like, you should be a certain age to also be on the headset.
Of course.
Like, I hate hearing children.
Well, I mean, terms says 13 plus at that point, but then you're also playing a rated M game. Like, there are those ratings, you know. That is up to the parents' discretion.
Yeah, no, there really is no way to stop that. Actually, that's funny. I was watching this guy do like some metaverse stuff. He was like playing different metaverse games. He like lived a week in the metaverse or something.
Oh, word, yeah.
But so he was going through, and a lot of the metaverse was built for adults and like that business type people, corporate. But because it was so shitty, it mostly got overrun by kids.
Yeah.
But there are a few areas, there's a few rooms, mostly like bars and like club rooms or whatever, that are 18 plus, and the way they prevent younger people from getting in, because it's VR, like you want to go into one of the rooms, you get teleported to a pre-room, and there's a bar that you have to stretch to an adult's length of arm span. So like if you're a child, your arms only go so far and you're not allowed in. So like midgets wouldn't be able to get in. That'd be like the downfall, or little people, short, you know, people with little arm spans that are adults wouldn't be able to get into these clubs, but you know, maybe
it's funny as hell.
What are they doing on VR? I don't know.
I mean, that's smart.
But it's the coolest. That's like the coolest thing that I've ever seen. Like, there's no way to do that in a game outside of VR. But I was like, wow, that is creative. Like, whoever thought of that was nice.
Yeah, that's genius. I mean, yeah, it has that one fundamental flaw, but that's so smart.
Right. And meta's not even popular enough for that to be a concern.
Because what are you gonna do? Get two kids to link arms? And
right. Yeah. Two kids in a trench coat are just like taking it on each arm, and then at that point it's like, oh well, it's just
two kids in a trench.
Two kids, yeah, and it's
funny as hell. The old like back in the Sierra days and stuff like that with like King's Quest and stuff. with Leisure Suit Larry being the adult one,
Mm-hmm.
they would lock it by you had to know adult questions, like who was the president at this time, or who was the president's mistress at this time, like
Oh.
super deep,
Like some gossipy, like adult.
yeah. And I mean, it was
content.
before the internet, of course, so
Right.
you can just like Google shit. So, but it
Yeah.
was like deep entertainment stuff that only adults would know.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a basketball thing, or like it could. I mean, it could be even. I think one of them was like something about Hawaii being bought or turned into a state.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's. I mean, that's how old
You
those
said to
games
be knowledgeable,
are.
right? Yeah.
At that point, like that was still. I mean, a decade or so later. Yeah, those games are pretty old. Yeah, but that's what that reminds me of. Is like get some super deep adult lore questions, the lore of adults.
That would be great. Yeah.
Ungoogleable questions.
I was gonna say that's the only issue now is everything's Googleable. So it's like, how do you even?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't ask encyclopedic questions like that without it being Googleable, I guess. Because like I was thinking about like MinMax has that Trivia Tower show, and they make it so none of the shit can be Googleable.
I'm surprised that like
there's no way to
remote
do that
controls.
trivia thing.
I'm surprised they don't have like the finger scanning capability like we have on our phones yet. You know? Like I could scan my finger, it unlocks, it knows that I'm me.
It does.
But then that could be a way to prevent your kids from playing on that remote. Like, that remote's locked because it's not you touching it or something.
It wouldn't be able to scan, I don't think your thumbs, but it would be able to scan your fingers, but not all of them have sensors like that. I think only a couple do, like the Vive, for instance.
But I think that would be
Or
a
the
way
Index. I think the Index
to prevent
does.
it.
Yeah,
it's
of
like
course.
then only you could handle that remote.
Well, the easier, the other way would be just facial tracking in general. Like,
that's true. That's basically the same thing, just with your face.
Yeah,
but
the PS2 or the PSVR2, excuse me.
But that's for VR. I'm talking about like regular remote stuff. Like there wouldn't be a facial scanner for, playing an Xbox game or something.
The ESRB is talking about that, and that was we didn't talk about that at all last week or the week before, so I can bring that up.
A camera?
ESRB facial recognition. ESRB Blast reports that its usual facial recognition technology to verify ages of children. This is from IGN, written by Taylor Lyles, July 25th, so this is about a month ago, almost. The Entertainment Software Ratings Board is blasting recent reports that suggest the organization is planning to use facial recognition tech on children, adding that it has no intention of using the technology to take or store selfies of its users.
So that's why I would prefer the fingerprint.
Right. You're right. But not every console has that. I don't know how they're planning on doing this. I think the idea is that I'll read further. Hold on. Yesterday, reports surfaced that the ESRB was partnering with Yoti, or Yotai, a digital identity firm, to use facial estimation to check the age of users. The news quickly spread to multiple outlets, and some worrying that the facial age tech would be used to store photos of underage users. However, in the heated statement sent to IGN, an ESRB spokesperson clarified that the tech is not intended to stop children from purchasing or downloading restricted games. It's pretty much for loot boxes and stuff is what they are talking about.
Yeah, so you're not, so your kid's not spending all your money on credit cards and stuff.
Exactly.
Right. And I get that, but it's a good idea with the photos or whatever to do it, but I think I still think the fingerprint thing would be better.
Right, and the idea is that they're trying to make it so if you're a parent, you can connect the Xbox app or PlayStation app to your phone,
Mm-hmm.
and when your child purchases something, you can get a notification, scan your face in, and be like, yes or no. That's the idea.
And I mean, you could do that without the face scan. You could just send a notification to the phone, and then the adult has to verify it with a code that only the adult knows.
Right.
And then...
Well, ideally, yes. Yes.
And then you wouldn't have to worry about any of the recognition. In that case.
That would be smarter. I mean, there are code locks on these things. Like, you can just do that on the Xbox.
Right.
You know? This is another thing. This is also for, like, mobile gaming and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
This is for all games, not from a console level, but from a standard level kind of thing, is what the SRB is trying to take forward.
Right.
It's not the children. It's to protect children, but for the use of parents. That's the idea of it. And just the way it got reported was really weird. We're like, the SRB wants to take pictures of your kids.
Right. Yeah. That is strange. I mean, it wasn't even. Because it just sounds like, oh, you have to buy this camera for your console. And
right. Ideally it would link to the phone.
Yeah, that would be right, because then you're buying like a whole nother piece of software just to scan my face. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, I have the Xbox app, the Nintendo app, and PlayStation all on my phone right now.
Right, and that works, right? If they're gonna do it that way. But then I'm gonna go right back to it. Most phones now have the fingerprint thing. I'm not against facial scanning. I just think that the fingerprint thing is more efficient and harder to fake or copy, I guess. And also, like, because, like, you know, if you have bad lighting, that alone will mess up the face thing. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I can't read your face. And now it's like, well, because I live in the middle of the woods and it's 9 o'clock at night and I have no lights but this candle light. You know, it's like,
well, I think
that won't matter if you could just beep.
I mean, with the thumb thing, right? I don't have actually my thumbprint scanner on my phone is not connected to my thumb, but it reads my face, and then I also have two-step on. Whenever I buy something, it texts me a number, and then it also reads my face.
Yeah,
and then I have to double click.
I have two fingers. Mine does my thumb or my pointer.
Yeah, and I probably should also add that. But whenever I buy something, I have to do that, even if it's free.
Mm-hmm. Also, maybe it's because my glasses sometimes mess with that too.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't even pick up my face because my glass, like, it'll reflect, or my glasses will be weird. And
to be fair, it's supposed to tell you to take your glasses off.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But now I gotta take my glasses off just to buy a game. Like, come on, you're getting me too much work, Xbox.
Yeah, I do. I use my phone constantly, so I'm always like fucking flipping my glasses up and down.
Yeah.
Just like a stupid. That's how I blink now, I guess. It's just fucking up and down.
Really?
All day.
See, I'll because my phone will be in my pocket, I'll pull it out and swipe my thumb at the same time, so it's already open before it even appears in front of me. Because sometimes if I don't do that, sometimes if I just click it just to see the time, it'll tell me oh, I can't recognize your face.
Right.
It's like it's the same face. It's always been. I don't know.
Yeah, thankfully the Apple's facial technology has gotten pretty good. They also have a retina scanner that I do have set up as well.
Oh, yeah, see, that's cool. Let's do that. Let's just have a retina, one of those little, on, the TVs where the scanner just pops out of the hole and scans your eye. I want that to happen, out of the Xbox little light. You have to put your eyeball up to the light, and it's like, wah, wah, wah. It's oh, you're good to go.
I want it to look like an alien mouth, which is the xenomorph.
That can be, that can be an additive bonus, a little add-on to the thing.
That's what I was thinking. It was like it's a big thing and then a little thing comes out, and then goes back in.
I was just thinking just the light.
Oh,
and then you open your eye and does the whole back and forth scan.
You want an Xbox Connect.
No, I don't want that.
Or
I just want the light.
Wii motion sensor.
You know what I want? I want a new iToy. That's what I want. Give me my PS5 iToy.
That's an interesting thing, is because Nintendo, on the other hand, does have an IR sensor built into their controller. Like, Nintendo is very pro, I don't know why, IR sensors. And they have been since, like, the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, super into them. They're the coolest technology ever. The Joy-Cons have one built on the bottom of them.
Okay.
So when you, like, Labo, for instance, when they did that, like, you could, like, scan a toilet paper roll into the terrain of your motocross map.
I remember that, yeah.
And then it would, like, you could morph a ramp around it with the IR sensor.
That was cool, yeah.
Or you could, you had the Labo remote control car, and then it would, through the IR sensor.
And you could do it, like, in your house and stuff.
Yeah,
that was really
it would give
cool,
you, like, a shitty Game Boy camera picture through the sensor.
Right.
Yeah, you control it that way.
Which is really neat, yeah.
Yeah, it was like proto Mario Kart Live, whatever it was called, the RC car Mario Kart, where you, like, build the track and stuff. It was like pre that, but that's where you could totally see where, like, the idea came from and, like, progressed, like, within the matter of, like, 2 years, which is interesting because that team is I believe the Knockout City people.
Oh, wow.
And also the Hot Wheels people, the Unleashed team.
Honestly, that makes sense.
Yeah, they did something else as well.
League-wise.
I forgot the name of the studio. I had it on my head, and I was gonna say it, and then I said Knockout City, and I forgot it.
And it knocked out the rest.
Yeah. Well, what a weird game that was. That was a cool game. Rest in peace. I think it got shut down last year. I wanted to say Team Asobo, but that's a Plague Tale, and that team's weird because they did a Plague Tale and they do Flight Simulator as well.
Yeah, that is a weird combo. That's a weird
big
one.
Jump. They do these weird, small, really beautiful indie projects, and then they have Flight Simulator, which is this giant epic, or is
number
like the
one
biggest game ever, technically.
Game, whatever.
It sold a lot, but, like, that game, if you took the file size, it's like petabytes, like, of data.
Oh yeah, because it's like the Earth.
Yeah,
basically. I mean, at this point, right? It's literally like they just Google mapped everything.
Yeah, it's like 8K scans too, and yeah, it's insane. Which is why, like, I think the game is like a 200 gig download, and then it's still running. It has to run on the internet. You know?
You have to have like a dedicated machine for that game.
Yeah.
Because it's that big. Like, you can't just.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, yeah, I wonder what the server racks of Flight Simulator look like. Like, what?
I want to get.
Or what does the fucking. Yeah, what does the hard drive for Flight Sim look like?
I want to see, like, some professional setups for that thing.
Oh, that's real cool.
I know that they get super intricate, but I want to see, like, the in-depth, like, schematics of it, you know, because they have to like put so much more into it, especially the ones that do all the, like, accurate panels and stuff. There's so much more than just, like, a regular old PC under the hood, you know.
Ex-Giant Bomb Drew Scanlon, who is now over at Digital Eclipse, working on, like, Atari 50 and everything like that. He would, during his time at Giant Bomb, he was getting his flight license.
Yeah.
His pilot license, and to train, he built himself a full cockpit, for Flight Sim.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
It's real cool. I'll have to show you sometime and see if I can, like, find a photo or something rather than, like, digging through old vlogs. But yeah, that's real cool. Like, the people build full out cockpits. Like, not just like those, you know, they almost look like what a go-kart's made out of.
Yeah.
Like bars and stuff like that, and it emulates a cockpit. Like, people are building plane cockpit.
Right, like just the whole tip of the plane.
Circle.
Right,
yeah. And that's insane.
Like you walk in through the cabin door.
Yeah. Like $50,000 on these things. Like, it's insane. Which, I mean, if this is like your thing, you know, this is why not? Yeah. And then, of course, the actual simulation aspect, I mean, it is a utility. It actually does teach you how to fly.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. It also teaches you a lot about flight paths and navigations and using radios and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Flight sim is so fucking cool.
Very in-depth. The most sim of a sim.
Yeah, that's another game where, like, I don't need to play it. I'll love watching people play it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, I want to see, I love watching people get super into, like, flipping every single switch on, going through all of the checklists and everything, preparing for takeoff, calling it in, fucking going off, and then just flying.
Just doing it, yeah.
Yeah. And that's all the game is. You just fucking fly forever. But then also they're adding in a whole bunch of new stuff in the new one.
All the different types of flying. It's not just, like, transportation.
Yeah, and it's like helicopters, hot air balloons, rescue missions. Yeah, all the missions and stuff.
All the different, which is super cool. And it only makes sense because there is more than just airplanes for flying, and
I mean, and
other reasons for doing it.
Right.
I mean, you know, I'm sure the next move is just going to be rocket ship simulator, you know? I mean, we're going to run out of flying vehicles, and then it's going to be like, all right, now let's go to space, I guess.
Honestly.
Everything but the G's.
Honestly, I would not be surprised at some point if we do get that. And it's because of, I mean, flight sim is such a valuable tool.
Yeah,
it does.
Absolutely.
That's why it's so cool. It's not only because it's fun to do these missions, like, it will actually teach you on, you know, fundamentals. It should just be part of the actual
training.
Yeah.
Kind of like, have you seen, so, actually speaking of that video game stuff, that Forza movie, that movie that's coming out
the
based
Gran Turismo?
Yeah, Gran Turismo movie. Yeah. That same thing. I mean, he just played that game enough till it was real.
Yeah. That was another news story that came out over it, because it's out now and reviews are mixed on it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's Neil Blomkamp, and he's not the best director in my opinion. He made one good movie, and people want to argue that for some reason. And Chappie sucks. I think Chappie is real bad.
That robot movie?
Yeah, but before that he made District 9, and District 9's good. It's not, I don't think it's the greatest fucking thing. But
it was good at the time, but it fell off pretty quick.
Yeah, but then
you can't talk about it like you can a better movie.
And people put that on, like, you know, this sci-fi equivalent of, like, Annihilation or like Alien even.
I guess it was like a different take on alien life and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a Neil Blomkamp fan past District 9.
Yeah.
Like, everything after that is kind of, like, mid. I mean, District 9, honestly, is pretty mid, too. But, there's a scene in that movie of a car crash that happened in real life.
Yeah.
Of the car flips into a crowd.
Yeah.
And kills somebody. Because the movie's actually telling, like, a real life story.
Right.
They fucked it up. Like, they put the crash in the wrong time of events, but then they kind of just, like, you know, swept the death under the rug, kind of, like, swept it away, kind of thing.
Well, it's not about that guy, just move it aside.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't, like, make a full informed opinion about that, but the way people are talking about how that one specific scene turned out, it's like, oh.
Really?
Oh. But the rest of the movie sounds fine. It sounds like people liked it for the most part. And I didn't see anybody hate it.
Right.
I just heard it was like, it was good.
Put a little more respect on that.
Yeah, on a real life
on
death.
the actual, yeah.
And the guy who was in the crash, like the car driver, is still alive.
Yeah.
The audience member is very much dead, unfortunately. But they like use it, the way it's in the movie is that they use it as like the catalyst of him winning the race. You know? Yeah. Like that's what this is what I'm winning for, you know?
Right, right.
Which like the race this guy died months before in real life.
Yeah.
And not in the same race at all.
Yeah, and it definitely wasn't a reason for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a thing that happened.
Yeah, so not only is this guy who's dead in real life just completely brushed aside.
Right.
The timing of it is all wrong, and they use it as like the motivation of this dude, like
right. It's like, oh, maybe if we honor his death as like the reason this all happened.
Yeah. And I don't know if the actor has seen the movie or if he like knows how this played out.
Right.
The way he was talking about it kind of seems like he might not know what he's talking about, because he was very defensive about it. He was like, well, I lived through it too. You don't know what I went through. It's like, no, this isn't what we're talking about.
Right.
We're just saying that didn't happen this way, and you're coming really hard about this.
Yeah, because you didn't actually live through someone dying, so or at least in that situation. I mean, maybe he did in a different one, but not.
Right, well, I mean, like that crash actually happened, so like that dude did actually crash a car.
Oh no, I was saying the actor.
The actor, right? I didn't mean the actor. I meant the actual.
Oh, okay.
The actual racer that the crash happened to. That this story is about, that worked with Neil Blomkamp.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
he got real defensive. The actor, yeah, right. I did that. That was my bad.
Yeah.
The actor's just some kid.
Yeah.
I don't know who the actor is.
I don't even remember.
I've never heard of him before. Especially when the other guy is like Orlando Bloom and the dude from Stranger Things that's also in that one video game. Oh, and that one video game we talked about, THQ dropped 2 new demos for the prologues of Alone in the Dark.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Those seem really cool. I wish I had a PS5 because I'd be playing those and have updates for that. Yeah. Patrick, I think that's a podcast. I think that's it.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I don't
Game-wise.
Yeah, of course. I wish I played more games this week, like I always.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna play so much this week.
Every time I was like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this today, and then I'll play a little bit of the game.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, it's like, I need to go to bed right now.
I was hoping to get through more Godfather before you came over today, but then you were like, you said 11:30. I was like, shit. Now it's like fucking 9:00, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll just set up, and then I started doing other shit. I started like folding clothes and stuff. I was like, oh, what am I doing?
I was literally like working till I was falling asleep on the couch or whatever. So
I did that last night too. I was putting up so many cards last night. I was
not getting to it. All I have is that little merging game on my phone that I play to kill time now. Yeah. But even that, I kind of figured it out now, and it drains my battery so fast, I'm probably going to just delete it too. But I mean, that's what I do. Phone games, I'm the worst about that. I'll play it for like a week. I'm like, all right, I get it, and I'll move on. There's very few phone games that have any like depth that I can play. Yeah. At least that my phone can handle. I mean, there's some good phone games that I've played, but...
Yeah. Well, donate to the channel and the Cash App down below to help me get a new PC and help Patrick get a new phone.
Yeah, give me a real phone.
Let's get him an iPhone so he can play Apple Arcade. And
I don't want to do that. I want an Android still, but I want a good Android phone.
You're gonna get an iPhone, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, no, I want an actual phone, and I want it to be... I mean, because this is a good phone, but usually I just get phones for the basic apps and...
Right. I got a new iPhone recently. I mean, it's the same phone that I had before. It's just I got my insurance got me a new one. It came with 3 months free of Apple Arcade, so
Nice.
I should jump on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
'cause
Play a little Apple Arcade.
Apple Arcade has a phenomenal list of games.
Yeah,
like
and
what
phone
the
games-
golf is on there. and
phone
stuff.
games are great.
What the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, those games are
a
really.
good
I
one.
love What the Golf. Untitled Goose Game was on there at one point. I don't know if it
Nice.
still is. There's a couple of games by I think Cappy has a game called Grindstone that's really popular on there. Jetpack Joyride 2 is on there.
Nice.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on there. Yeah, that's a podcast. Donate to the Cash App below to help us afford things. Also, there's a Pokemon store if you want something physical for merch. I don't have shirts yet. There will be soon. Patrick and I make enough jokes and stuff where I'm sure I could put something on a shirt and put it on like Teespring or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I may have started a shirt
Yeah.
account already, so.
Oh, word. Get you
Maybe
some
I'll
merch
use
for
that.
shows or something like that.
Yeah, I was looking into like different merch sites for like stickers and hats, and
Yeah.
I'm not like a shirt guy personally, like for mostly because I don't want to carry a bunch of shirts to venues.
Right.
Whereas like stickers, I can put 50 of them in my pocket, and hats I can usually carry like.
Right. Well, it's a little harder when you're carpooling with somebody. Right. If you
Right.
were in your own
But-
vehicle.
But when you have like a site, that's why I was looking into sites. So that way, if you have a site, you can carry one type of merch,
Right.
and then link it to everything else online.
Right. You could go out with a shirt on a rack. And
Right,
then-
just one, or
and
you
then-
know, like, or just a handful of stickers, and it's like, well, if you like this design, you want to wear it.
Yeah.
I have it on a shirt, or plus others and stuff like that. So that way, I'm not carrying around a whole case, a whole mall of stuff everywhere, like I'm in the '90s. You know, like
That's where the
modern
money is,
day.
man. That's where the money is, dude.
It really is. Yeah,
I-
merch is really how you make money in comedy.
I just in live performances in general. I mean, even YouTube
Well, music
and
too,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Like, I mean, if you're just in the creative field, merch is so fucking important.
It is
Just
crazy
something
how many
somebody can
people
buy.
just want to wear a shirt with your name on it. It's like,
or something physical.
that's
Like,
just a shirt with my name on it. It's not even cool. When they're like, no, man, I love you, so I love this shirt. And I'm like,
yeah, I mean the Taylor Swift shit, where like
guess.
people were. It was like a 7-mile line or something like
Right.
that for some of the concerts.
yeah.
For t-shirts.
For
Like
t-shirts.
people didn't even have tickets.
So I'm like, I'm not. I don't get it, but I'll join the party. You know,
Yeah,
if people wanna
sure.
people wanna wear my face, I'll do it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I wonder if Taylor.
I'd wear your face.
Well, a copy of my
Over my
face.
own.
I meant that shirt.
The
If
Jonas
the
Brothers
price is
concert
right.
last night, the,
Oh, at the
line,
casino?
the line for the merch booth was 3 hours long.
Wow. Yeah, sometimes people just stand in line for the merch the whole time the concert's going.
Seriously,
And
yeah.
they're like, well, at least I got this shirt.
Right.
It's
And,
like,
like-
they just went to their website.
I mean, the Taylor Swift merch was outside the venues.
Oh, was
like,
it?
yeah. These lines were for people who didn't have tickets.
That's insane.
This was people.
That's fucking nuts.
People just showing up to buy an exclusive blue hoodie.
Food, dude, the
That's-
fucking food is in the water in front of you.
It's crazy. Anyways,
See?
it's been a podcast. It's been fun. It's been real. I'm Ben, the Mr. Ben Show. This is Patrick, aka Patastic, right?
Yeah, that's my new
one.
handle.
New handle. Go
Stay
follow him
tuned next
everywhere.
week. I'll change it again.
Yeah, all of our socials are down below. Merch down below. Pokemon store. You know, it's been fun, guys. It's been real. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Bye.
That's my new outro. My new outro is just shooting everyone.
Finger guns in a public
You're
school
dead. You're
auditorium.
dead. You're dead.